Welcome back to Strength Cultures Podcast, number one in the hearts, number one in the charts. We are back with just the boy there's today after a pretty heavy run of guests for, I think it was 7 episodes in the end, which was pretty crazy. We're evolving, boys. We are evolving. We're growing.
Evolutions
in that. Iterations.
Rotations around the sun.
Rotations. fully all the way through. But there's been
a year, yeah.
Huh?
That's 1 year, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Isn't that in songs?
One rotation around the sun.
Yeah, it's a year.
No, we haven't rotated around the sun since the inception of this.
It's only been like
We're
2
always
months.
rotating.
We're rotating.
Yeah, we're rotating.
We haven't rotated.
It's all transverse. It's all transverse plane. But we need to discuss. I think with this new recording setup, we've really got to be careful with the nose breathing, fellas.
It's really like I'm holding it away today because I can.
It sounds more intense, so we do apologise if you can hear all that. Sorry,
Got a
but
couple big Greek noses here.
yeah,
I think it's more the mouth.
Couple deviated septums.
The more mouth breathing, not
Couple
the nose
mouth
breathing.
breathers.
I don't know, but whatever it is, we just need to be worried about it. We need to be careful of it. But let's discuss the elephant in the room, which is Jamie B's ankle.
Yeah, she's fucked.
Bouz.
Yeah. I had a mishap. I had a big mishap. It was really embarrassing at the start. I was at the local Anytime Fitness in Chelsea. And it was the first day of doing Smith machine squats. Did a warm up with a bar, just set up positioning. Sweet. This is mad. 1 plate aside. This is mad. 2 plate aside. Like I'm halfway through the set thinking to myself, this is the sickest exercise. Feels better than pendulums. Feels better than hack squats. Like sickening quad pump. Position was mad. Like just felt great. And then I think I got too confident on the re-rack. And it was over. Like in the video, you see I looked to the left to see that it was over the top of the latch, or what is it called? Like drop latch. I don't know what the fuck. But
Safety.
the safety, yeah. So I looked and it was tilted over. I'm like, sweet, I'm in. And I lowered it quickly because it was a hard set. And I lowered it quickly, and at the last second, it like spun back. So I think I was a bit too like passive on the holding it rotated over. I thought it would just stay over and not spin back. Evidently it didn't. Threw me into an end range sissy squat. And then when I ran out of knee flexion,
The ankle joined in.
just hit that end range eversion external rotation of the foot.
And full ROM.
There was a pop and full ROM, team full ROM.
Full roll.
Yeah. And like, I'm just going to address a few people. The sound that we put on those videos wasn't fake. Like, it wasn't fake.
That was not post-production.
Yeah, someone asked, like, was that staged?
A lot of people asked.
A lot of people asked, like, was that staged? Like, firstly, why the fuck would I stage that anytime by myself? Ridiculous. Second thing, the pop, I can understand why you'd think it was fake, but it was pretty fucking audible. Like, I've torn shit before, and it's internal. I hear, like, it's just internal, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you hear it, and you're like, all right, that was just me.
It's a combination of the feeling and the hearing.
Yeah,
like
it's the feeling and hearing. Like, all right, that was just, no one heard that around me. Like, I've asked people, like, did you hear that? Nah, didn't hear it. Okay, whatever, when I got injured. But this time, like, I heard it, and it was so loud. And I went into instant shock. Like, I sat down, like, this little kid, like, was just looking at me. Like, understand, I'm like, in the middle of any time, like, fuck! Like, shouting, fuck! And this kid's looking at me like, you all right, mate? I'm like, no. like, I'm not all right. But because of the pop, I start sweating. Like, I started, like, profusely sweating. I get dizzy. I almost spew. I'm like,
shock.
I've broken my foot. Like, I've fucking broken something. Turns out there is a fracture, a tibial fracture, and just waiting on grading if there's like serious syndesmosis damage. Just waiting on the surgeon's opinion. So we'll see. Could be out for 12 weeks plus, depending on when I get the surgery, and the boot for 6, and then the surgery might be a little bit after that. So yeah, we out for a while.
We out, fam.
Hey, if you're gonna do it proper, yeah.
That's it. For future reference, if we ever stage an injury, it'll happen here because the lighting's better. We won't do it at any time.
Yeah, come on, man.
So just keep that in mind.
Oh, they got purple walls. They got to renovate that anytime.
Well, I think purple's their colour, you know, like.
Yeah, it doesn't look good though. All my
not on
video,
brand?
every time I film a video at the gym, like it's the contrast. I film a set here, it looks mad. You got fucking walls, And then I film at any time, and the walls are purple.
No frills.
They're purple or light green.
You should email them.
Yeah, no, well, the guy was signing me up. He's like, yeah, we're going to update soon. I read, I think he read my mind.
Because you were doing these ones.
This is not very aesthetic.
Oh, you saw the stees walking in.
Yeah, he's like, this guy appreciates interior decor.
A couple of questions then that I'm sure a few viewers will probably be thinking, and I know they've already asked, but like how are you going to manage training over the next period?
Yeah, so I've been training still.
I see you doing leg extensions, leg curls. It's all good.
I don't know.
You can, yeah.
Look, I don't know. I did like last week before I was in the boot. I just thought it was a high ankle sprain. Like Cinder's most damaged. I'm like, oh, I should be sweet with just leg curl. I didn't know if there's any fractures before scans. I wasn't in a boot. I was hitting leg extensions. I'm like, fuck, my shin really hurts. That's probably a red flag there. Got in the boot. I've spoken to the physio in Dan, and he's like, if you got the boot on and it's all latched in proper, should be able to do leg extensions. Leg extensions still a bit iffy on just because of the pressure on the shin.
Absolutely.
Leg curls feels fine because of the heel and it's all sweet. Everything else has been like lucky. Anytime is like 150 meters down the road. Like I can't drive at the moment, and I can't crutch 150 meters. I get gassed quick. So Nikita drives me there, which is fine. They've got an elevator. Crazy.
Just drops you off.
Yeah, it just drops me off.
Drop your little kid off at school.
Yep. So I'm in there for half an hour, and they've just got like a circle of pin-loaded machines. So I'm just smashing the pin-loaded machines, and then I've got like a tally. Like I'm not on program at the moment. I'm not logging weights or reps or anything like that. It's just
hard training.
Just hard training. Like I'm just making sure I'm doing 10 plus sets of everything in a 7-day cycle. Whenever the 7 days are, doesn't really matter, and just working hard. Like that's really it. I honestly reckon, because I'm still going to diet through it. I reckon I'll look better by the end of it, which is the goal.
Nice.
Which is the goal.
Just a little bit of leg atrophy.
Yeah. Like previous injuries, like if everyone that knows me, I've been an injured dog over the years, and if anyone that really knows me, they know my coping mechanisms weren't the fucking strongest. Not at all. And they're proper cycles, but I think the biggest thing that's changed this time around is like the big focus on what I can do. It sounds corny, but the more you think about I'm fucked, I can't drive, I can't go to work, I can't do this, I can't do that, it makes rehab and injury a miserable time. Whereas this, it's like, I'm going to get jacked on pin-loaded machines, upper body out of proportion to lower body, easy.
Yeah, slam it.
For sure. I was close. I've been speaking for a while, but I was close on like not training the sweet leg, like the good leg.
Oh, really?
Well, there's
Vanity.
what is it? Cross
education.
Big time. Yeah, so there's cross education, and there's enough research to say that you're not going to atrophy as much if you train the other side. But I was like proper, what did you say? Vanity, yeah. Like, nah, I'm going to let them both atrophy. Just
balance is all that matters.
Because asymmetry is not what we're looking for. But I've been called a fucking idiot by two people, my coach and Dan. So I'm going to start training that leg.
Yeah,
a bit more
single leg extension.
I think it's just the glute, really. But yeah, that's where we're at.
You'd be able to. Well, hopefully once the bone, then you might need surgery. Yeah, bit of a road ahead, but that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. We're just gonna get massive arms.
Yeah, fucking
chest,
no excuses,
and back and shoulders.
So what pin loaded machines have you got available?
Overhead press, chest press. There's a seated row, 2 grips, like an upper back and lat. I think that's about it, really. There's plate loader stuff.
Is there like fucking? I guess.
There's a pec deck, rear delt fly.
Yeah, man.
And I can deal with stuff that's like 16 kilo dumbbells. I do fuck shit. Like I walk up to the dumbbell rack with the crutches. I put my knee on the rack and then I grab a dumbbell and I throw it at the bench. So if there's someone around, like there might be in strife. But the floors are real bouncy. They're like those rubber floors.
They absorb it, yeah.
So a 16 kilo dumbbell and this thing gets hot, like it bounce off the floor like 15, 20 centimeters.
The thing is though, no one could crack it at you because if they cracked it at you, they just look like an idiot for not helping you.
Literally.
Oh, 100%.
So fuck them.
It's so funny what I do around doors now, like doors in public places. Like I play it up. I walk into the door and shit. Like I'm like bumping my shoulder and I look at it. He's gonna fucking help me.
Bit of a social experiment. See who actually helps you.
Yeah. It's funny. I've been getting more smiles around Chelsea now.
They feel bad for you now.
They feel bad for me.
Yeah.
It's good. It's there's definite upsides to being injured.
Yeah.
Sympathy.
Suddenly people care. Yeah.
Suddenly people care. I just got the vision of you just throwing dumbbells around, fucking blah, blah, blah. How'd you get out of the gym when you went the day off?
So I called Nikita. And this isn't like this. They're like, oh, fucking shouldn't pick him up. Nikita's been waiting on me hand and foot. So thank God for Nikita. Otherwise, I'd be fucked. But I called her, and she was getting her hair done and getting foils in her hair at the time. She's like, I've got foils in my hair right now. I can't get you. Yeah. I'm like, fair enough. Yeah. So I called Charlie. Charlie was in Cheltenham buying a bed, and he's like, oh,
oh, you were buying a mattress that day?
He was buying the mattress. He's like, I'm buying the mattress, but I'm coming now. I'm like, all right, sweet. And then I called Dan. I'm like, do I fucking get an x-ray? Do I see you? Like, what? I don't know what to do. So Charlie came and picked me up, and then I was in Anytime for like 40 minutes.
Just sitting there.
Just sitting there. There's like
Sweating.
a couch at the front, and I was sweating
Feeling sick.
bullets. And like, I was so embarrassed. And I'm like in the gym, and there's people just like looking at me. I'm like, they're not asking, no, hey, you all right? They're just like looking at me like, this guy fucking all right? And it just got too much. I'm like, I need to leave. So I left, and I just like hobbled my way to the car. Like, yeah, I was still in a bit of shock because Jesus Christ, at night it started hurting bad. But through the day, I'm like, I just limped through the car park at the Woolies at Chelsea. I was like, I'm just going to sit in my car for a bit. This is bad. But that was it. And then after that, I just limped my way through. Like, until I got the crutches, I think I was still in that much shock that it didn't hurt that much. So when I saw Dan, I'm like, oh, I can wait there. It's fine. I'm walking. Fucking 6 hours later, I'm like, Nikita, I can't feel my foot.
Yeah,
like, but yeah, we'll be right.
Yeah, we'll be right.
We'll be right.
We will rebuild him. The $6 million man. We will rebuild him.
We will.
All right.
I didn't know that reference. Someone commented on a photo of mine the other day.
I think it's the $6 million man. Yeah. We can rebuild him. We will. I think it's we will rebuild him.
Yeah. I just liked it.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Show support. Much love. Respect. My goodness. My goodness. Oh, shouts out to Royal Stacks. That just reminded me of Royal Stacks for inviting us down to the new spot in Moorabbin with the Hectic Eats. Yeah. It's doing pretty well, actually, Donny. I don't know if you saw the views, but it's going well. Thank you very much to Royal Stacks. Check it out. Hectic Eats. With the most recent episode. But the next thing we need to update is Didier's back on the barbell.
Yeah, more. The rumors are true. Yeah, rumors. Yeah, your favourite amateur powerlifters making a return to a competition near you. So I always set out to do about 2 years of bodybuilding training, and that 2 years was coming up. So decided to shift gears back to powerlifting. I think I've said this previously, like just on stories or posts, or whatever. Like I never was like bored of powerlifting or didn't want to powerlift. I just wanted to get a bit more jacked. So we did that. Clothes are fitting a bit nicer. Some pants that were a bit loose are now a bit tight in the areas you want them to be tight. So aesthetics. I think we did what we needed to do. And now, back to some barbell training. So I'm working with Alyssa Joy from TSA, the strength athlete. Just 1 week in, enjoying it so far.
Nice. TSA has a reputation for being very
on point,
mindful. I would say mindful, like psychology of lifting, like all of that sort of stuff. Have you experienced anything with going with them that is outside the ordinary of what you would see from a normal coaching?
I think their questionnaire was good in that it was like thought provoking, and then the initial call as well. Like there were some questions there that like just some different stuff that actually made me think about some of the whys behind what I do, whether that's with training, nutrition, and some of like the deeper goals. And then with the spreadsheet itself, like there's some like things to focus on, like weekly affirmations, or there's a bit of a focus on like what went well, what to do in a good situation, what to do in a bad situation. So there's some cool extra tidbits there. And they've also got a physio and a sports psych that work for them, and you can get discounted calls with them, but there's also you can get like some free like 15-minute calls with them, so that's something cool that I'll have access to now.
Some interesting add-ons for sure. What have your affirmations been for your sessions?
I am barbell sex god.
Yeah, I'm the best. You keep talking, I'll find it on my phone.
Yeah, I think there used to be a page where it was like I am the algorithm or something.
Yeah, no, there's an affirmations, but it's like affirmations with 3 Fs, and it's hilarious. I am overnight sensation. I'm overnight viral sensation or some shit like that. If anyone has not seen those pages, they are easily the funniest things. Me and Donnie send them back to each other, like back and forth. They're so funny.
Back and forth. Yeah, they're good. The affirmations though, I definitely have some affirmations that I throw in my head, and we've got some in our group chat.
So the one I picked was there is no failure only learning lessons. So they've got a bunch you can pick, and then if you want to just put your own kind of like custom one in there, you can do that. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool.
No bad days.
No bad days.
No bad days, baby. Only data. That's it. That's that's Sean Noriega. No bad days, only data.
Only data.
That is so
Look, I'm not gonna lie.
that one's gonna stick, I reckon.
Some of I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be transparent. Some of that affirmation stuff is a bit cringe. Personally, some of them I wouldn't like. Like I can. Like I don't know. It's just not for me. But
Yeah.
I think it's good to challenge yourself and to something that you maybe think is a bit weird or wacky. Just give it a go and see what you think.
Yeah.
But I do think your internal dialogue does have like a bit
suck.
to do with everything. No, for sure.
No, it does.
Man, it does. I've had self-deprecating cycles like in previous injury things where it's literally like I'm fucking depressed.
Yeah.
And the more I would say that internally, the more it's
100%.
like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like,
100%.
yeah, bro, you move fucking sad. Like it is, it's literally like that's what it is.
Yeah.
I do think it. Like I'm not a guy that's probably gonna like stare in the mirror and say I'm overnight viral sensation anytime soon. But I do think it's important. The more like all this shit is fucking so psychology dependent.
For sure. And I guess when you put it that way, I think it's just the kind of the flavor can be different depending on the person and depending on the context. But I think it's something everyone can benefit from. For sure.
How do you spell flavor?
FLAVA.
Flavor in your ears.
Fever for the flavor.
Yeah, it's a good song, that.
What song's that?
Can I get a little cheeky? You're on my electrical lip balm flavor. That's it. I've got it in my head. I just don't know the words, so I can't.
I mean, that's standard. With
Yeah.
You though, so.
All I know is one of the lines is "You're my electrical lip balm flavor." That's
Crazy.
one of the lines. So,
Don't even Google it.
fever flavor. I fucking don't.
What's that line from Blades of Glory about my humps? I don't know. What does that even mean?
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. I want to go back to the bodybuilding thing. 2 years of bodybuilding. What did you learn in 2 years of bodybuilding?
I think one thing I definitely learned is this, like the mental fortitude of pushing hard sets, high reps, high RPEs, not a lot of food. Because I think part of the reason I'm coming back to some lifts and they're not feeling that difficult is just I did work in the last 2 years that was to a certain difficulty that I hadn't done before. Like when you don't have a lot of food, you haven't had breakfast or not much breakfast, you're doing banded pendulums, you're trying to get to an RPE 10. It's tough. And honestly, and you know, people can debate which is harder, powerlifting, bodybuilding. The hardest training I've done is definitely in the last 2 years. Like I'd get into sessions, I'd be dreading what I was about to do, like high, like, you know, heart rates going up before a set. Satisfaction when you're done, but like proper on the floor, like that just cooked me. So I think just coming back now and doing a set of 5 on squats at RPE 6 or 7, like I think straight away, things just don't feel as hard as they used to because I have pushed those really hard sets, especially now that I'm eating a bit more food and stuff like that. So I definitely think that's something, not even, you don't have to completely move away from powerlifting, but just including some of those harder exercises, higher reps, higher RPEs. Once you've done that, the general training you need to get better at strength training or powerlifting by comparison doesn't feel that hard. It might feel, your body might be a bit more banged up because you're handling heavier weights, but in the pure just like sensation of what that set feels like, it's very different, I'd say.
Yeah, you've changed your ceiling, your threshold.
For sure. And obviously to
discomfort. You hunted discomfort.
To more an extreme extent, if you go and do these like, you know, mega challenges like Ethan Fleming's back. Obviously I'm not saying I've done anything like that, but that's that really far in. Whereas he does something like strength training, I think for him, it just doesn't light his fire because by comparison, it's nowhere near as difficult. So I think doing things that are just a bit more challenging than what you have to do just makes what you do not that hard. And obviously we see it like people, they do powerlifting and they're like, they're doing a set of 8 on squats at RPE 7. Like, oh, this is cardio. This is so many reps. Like, no, it's not. It's objectively not that many reps. And it's really not that hard. If you've done a set of 20, set of 8's great. Like, you'll be laughing after a set of 8.
Well, you see people dip a lot earlier on like a hard set of 10 of anything before like a hard set of... Like, I find you're going to see people overshoot more on a hard set of 5 than a set of 10 pendulums. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, I feel like it's just no one wants to overshoot on fucking pendulums. Like, they suck.
Except for me and Jeremy.
It hurt. Yeah, you guys.
There's definitely an ego side of it with the squatting, the barbell lifts. Is like people want to lift more weight.
Yeah, for sure.
To fulfill whatever need it is that
their
they,
identity
attached to this number means this to me. And whereas with pendulums or belt squats or leg extensions, you're not really going to be like, I really have to leg extension 80 kilos today.
Yeah, but I do find that it's like the second you sort of tap into that same mentality for those lifts,
They go
it's
up
when you see
heaps.
everything progress.
Because across the board, you're just training harder versus you put effort into a couple of exercises and the rest of them you're just cruising through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
think there's an
agree with
inverted view.
effort, 100% putting
Yeah.
effort in, but I wouldn't say that I've ever felt an emotional attachment to number. But I don't feel that with powerlifting.
I don't think you feel like with powerlifting either.
No,
It's
so-
just you. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, for sure. I'm just saying from like it's probably the ego that will probably drive that. But yeah, fucking don't worry about it then. All good. Don't worry, just off the deep end. That's all right.
The crux is train hard.
Train hard.
And if you're not training hard, throw an AMRAP in there, like Did said. Do an actual RPE 10, and do it on an exercise that you don't really love doing.
Challenge yourself.
Because, like we've spoken about before, how I know with many powerlifters they'll slam their main lifts, but then won't really put effort into the accessory movements. So train your accessories hard.
100%.
Hard.
And what Didier experienced the last
Hummus.
2 years, you don't need to go and do 2 years of bodybuilding
for
to
sure.
implement that. You can literally implement that today in your program.
It's the attitude you take
It's the
towards
yeah.
the exercises in your program. Like you go into sessions and weeks and blocks with
Yeah.
the intent that I am going to put my best effort into these. You're not just looking at anything as like, oh, that's just here, it's just an accessory. Like that's just the wrong. Don't even do it. Like why is it even in your program if that's like the mindset you're going to?
no such thing as accessories.
100%. Only main lifts.
It's all the main course.
All the what? The main one.
Main course.
Main course. That's amazing. That's actually a really good line.
No snacks. Only main course.
Yeah, no snacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no entrees.
I just want
It's
to.
a real.
I want to. Real God. I just wanted a couple more points I wouldn't mind covering here. You said that like coming back to barbell training, it's obviously feeling subjectively a little bit easier because of the contrast to what you've been doing. But how do you feel your like people are quite often, and even like deload periods and stuff, people are worried to take like a week off something because of the skill fucking wash off or whatever. And like after 2 years of not doing squats, how are squats feeling? After 2 years of
What's
not
the
doing
thing?
deads.
I think the longer you train for, the less that needs to be a consideration. If you train for less than 1 year, okay, maybe you might actually lose a significant amount of skill, vastly changing what you're doing, whether it's through a deload or wash out. You miss 2 weeks of training. It took about a couple of weeks for low bars to feel nice again on my shoulders. It's never the most comfortable position, but it felt quite chat for 2 weeks. Week 3, it felt fine. Deadlifts felt fine straight away. And bench, maybe two, 3 sessions. And then 2-3 sessions and back to normal. Like obviously it's not perfect, but it's at a workable level. It's not at the point where I'm like, I need to go light to focus on technique. I can just train.
It's all in there. Yeah.
So if you spent 2-3 years doing something and for whatever reason you move away from that, I don't think there needs to be this fear of like, oh, I'm going to completely forget how to squat or anything like that. It's just not the case.
Yeah.
Give it a block and you'll be right.
Give it a block. Give it a block and you should be fine.
Give it a block. How long do you reckon until you start crunching PRs?
Well, with squats, not too far. With high bar squats, not too far. Because I remember the bonus idea was like 145 and I'm already like 130, pretty cruisy. That'll be probably the main one that will hit PR territory pretty soon.
Yeah, because I guess you were still doing like pendulums and
Yeah,
and
I
all
think
that sort of shit.
good amount of training to
Yeah.
kind of stimulate that. Yeah.
Absolutely. What about you, Charles? What's the news with you?
I got a new bed.
Hey,
Got a king bed.
hey, bed guy.
So I got a funny story about the bed. I'll throw this in there. So we bought it when Bouz was obviously, and as he called me, he didn't add that, but I was like literally in the process of, and we had to get the bed.
You were mid-sales. Always
We
be
were
closing.
mid-sales,
Always
like,
be closing.
they were- yeah.
I'll call you back, mate. Don't worry.
No, I literally said to him, I go, man, you got to give me 15, 20 minutes because we're like, we're fucking
We're in the
buying-
thick of
buying
it.
the
We're
bed.
fucking
We're
in the
buying a
thick
bed,
of
but
it.
we needed the bed because Deuce's parents were coming this weekend. But anyway, the delivery guys bring the bed on Friday. So firstly, she goes, I can't get the bed for 3 weeks. The other lady goes, no, I've got connections at the warehouse. I'll get it for you on, I'll get it for you on Wednesday.
Fuck big bed.
I'll get it for you on Wednesday. So it came on Wednesday. They to call us. We've got it. Can't get it delivered Thursday because we were obviously out and about gallivanting. Friday, I was like, I'm home all day. Can get it delivered. They rock up perfect. I'm like, this is the smoothest delivery process ever. Bought the bed Saturday. It comes Wednesday. Delivered Friday. They bring it. They literally try for about a minute, and then they go, we can't get it up. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you can't get it up? It was
up the stairs.
it was like Pineapple Express.
Oh, yeah,
What do
you've got
what
a
do
little bit of a, your entry point.
What do you mean the battery's dead? The battery's dead. And do you know what I'm referencing?
Today's the episode of references that no one understands.
I
understand it.
He goes, the battery's dead. And he's like, what do you mean the battery's dead? And he's like, the battery is dead. I don't know any other way to put that. But yeah, anyway, I'm like, what do you mean you can't get up? I'm like, can you try once? They try again. They're like, we can't get it. And I was like, what's the solution? He's like, I need a new mattress. And I was like, so they're like, we can take it away for you, get a store credit. And they'll get, and so I ring Deuce and Deuce is like, nah, fuck that. we're getting that mattress upstairs. Deuce's boss was adamant that you would be able to get it upstairs. We got it upstairs.
What was
I
it
could
difficult?
see why they didn't want to do it because we were jamming it. They said it was a very stiff mattress. We had to like jam it and like we took a bit of the plaster off. The,
All right, here we go.
but I didn't give a fuck. I was like, plaster can be replastered. Like you can pre-paint over that. I just want to get this fucking mattress up the stairs. So we got it up. I could see why they didn't want to.
They didn't want to damage your house.
Yeah, they didn't want, and they obviously have been instructed not to. But anyway, we got it up there. So we got a king mattress. That's what's been happening with me.
Mad. And also you FIFO'd. You FIFO'd into Sydney.
Yeah, I did.
Model boy.
One night. Stay with John and Greta.
City strength.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It was good. So it was for the new SBD release, which it's coming out July. So it's actually
secret?
like 2 days away. July 7th. It's coming out in 2 days. So you'll find out the colorway there.
Fuck inside scoop guy.
Yeah,
They were really, they were causing some like they were just posting pictures of like sand and rocks. Everyone's like,
Well,
what
that's
color is it?
Defy is the theme. So
you go.
and that's what SBD have chosen, that sand desert looking thing. So
Crazy.
went up there for that. And I was up there with, who was I doing? It was Matt. He's a strong man.
Yep.
It was a strong woman, Ali, and another little powerlifting girl. So they went for like a sort of different range of strength sort of people and different looks. So it was good.
Do strongmen wear soft suits?
Yeah, well, that's it. So this is why SBD rebranded from squat, bench, deadlift to strength, belief, determination, because they don't
want to just be powerlifting.
They don't want to be just be powerlifting.
That's fair.
Because they sponsor other
The major
athletes.
sponsor of all the strongman events.
Yeah, exactly. So they want to be in other strength sports too.
Okay.
So that's why they rebranded from strength.
That makes
That's
sense.
a strength, belief, determination. So that's coming out, and it was actually interesting listening to John Tran talk about SBD and how they revamped the powerlifting equipment and attire by bringing in seasonal drops. So they do the seasonal drop, and it builds the hype, and people buy it, and they've made a good business out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no other sort of
They
companies
did differently.
doing that.
The thing I like about it is there's no blood, death, anger.
It's sleek.
fucking-
It's not extreme.
There's no
Hell.
rips. There's no blood.
Nothing
fucking-
demonic.
So,
yeah.
it was
Sacrifice,
interesting that
afterlife.
people, the afterlife, people associate, and John said this himself, people associate SBD as a cleaner looking, more
Well, it is.
more natural, associated with more natural lifting, but that's not actually the case because a lot of the people they sponsor are geared strongmen. Yeah, like there's a lot of geared
Don't
athletes.
discriminate.
Geared,
No, but it does have that image that
It
it's a
definitely
bit,
has that
it's a bit
image.
more, and I would look at Titan and stuff and go there a bit more with the
more
non,
rough.
the non-natty. So, but yeah, it's they're not actually just associated with natural lifting because they do have a lot of enhanced athletes they sponsor,
Yeah,
Crazy.
absolutely.
strongmen and shit. So yeah, 5 foot. Sorry, birth, mate, like a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 foot.
Fucking hell.
Well, my flight got cancelled when I got there. So got to the airport. My 6:30 flight got cancelled, so I got pushed to the 7:30 flight. So I was just sitting at the airport.
Yeah,
That was-
life.
Real first world problems.
That was shit.
We can feel them. We definitely feel them. we also
I battled that.
I got to jump in with the first world problem. So when I was coming back from Gold Coast, had a nice meal at the airport there. It was fairly cheap. But I didn't realise picking up the Evian bottle, I just put it through.
Oh,
I paid $7.90 for a fucking bottle of water. $750
I paid $19 for a pint of Carlton when I fucking was coming back from Gold Coast at the airport. Is it Gold Coast?
robbery.
No, not Gold
Coolangatta,
Coast.
Coolangatta.
Sydney.
Oh, Sydney.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sydney. Yeah, I thought I'd have a lone pint.
they got a
Like,
stomping ground at Melbourne Airport now.
Yeah.
Really?
Stomp your head in with the price of those beers.
Stomping
Far out more.
Yeah.
I almost did that, but then I restrained because I started cutting, and that was the day we did Royal Stacks. So I fasted all morning. We had Royal Stacks, and then I was like, I'm not going to eat dinner until we get to John and Greta. They were cooking me
Balance.
steak, I remember. And so I held myself from the beer, but then I did sneak in a little Red Rock Deli packet of chips.
Darling, that's
When the-
another thing at Sydney Airport. I paid $7 for a hand roll of sushi.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
$14, mate. Fucking
The chips are reasonable.
Bro.
The chips were like $3.80 or something.
Yeah, that's all right.
Normal
Hand roll,
price.
like a little crispy chicken avocado.
Bloody Sydney.
Yeah, so bloody Sydney.
Bloody Sydney, mate.
bloody bastards.
Bloody fucking
Sydney.
Bloody Sydney.
bloody fucking. Well, yeah, we obviously we were up in Sydney for a week there with the podcast, the second Clout Tour, that absolutely has taken our podcast to another level. Thank you very much to the new listeners that are checking in, sharing it. Our recent months of download have been dwarfing previous months, so the potty is growing, and we really do appreciate the support. I've said it to everyone now, but I think it's the best thing we've ever done, this podcast, in terms of like exposure, marketing, content, and all of that. We've been doing it for a few years with other streams of like the YouTube channel and everything else, but this just seems to be us, boys.
It's just fun too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's good things that come with it. Just speaking of good things that come with it, with all this extra reach, I'm actually in the market for a mattress. So if any listener has got a mattress connect, please.
We actually do.
Please sort your boy out.
We do have one.
Preferably free.
Yeah, no, like heavily discounted, within 10% of
There's
cost
air
price.
for sales, man. Mine was 40% off.
I fucking missed it.
You missed it
I
already?
missed the 40 Winks one.
Ours was 40% off.
Yeah, no, I looked at it. Ended on
Which
Sunday.
makes me wonder what the markup on those
100%.
Yeah.
If you can just throw 40% off like that,
I think I got a Sealy Connect. Posturepedic.
fucking sort it out.
Posturepedic.
Yeah,
no, seriously.
Man, there are some mattresses. $15,000 for a
Yeah,
mattress.
now I question
15K.
what do those mattresses do? What do they do for you? What do they do for you?
Longevity.
Longevity of what?
Live forever.
Longevity.
Sleep so good you never die.
Nothing.
Well,
It's brand.
The
man.
brand we got is one of the more active sleeps, more of a budget mattress. It was $1,900 down to $1,200,
Yeah, mad.
but it's
not
I
bad.
love it. I've been
Yeah.
sleeping like a fucking. But yeah, we were going in with like $1,000 to $1,500 for a mattress.
have you had to buy all new like sheets and everything?
Nah, because we got a king doona already. We have the pillow, so we just have to buy bottom sheet.
Yeah.
And then for the spare bed, we just bought. We went to Kmart, Big W, $80.
Bloody beautiful, mate. Bloody $80.
$80, man. But, man, it's a fucking
For $80
guest
you
room.
can get 4.5 sushi rolls at Sydney Airport.
4 pints.
Fucking hell.
Kmart's good.
No, it's unreal. Fucking oath. It's actually amazing. We do actually have a Better Connect, and I can put you onto them. They were going to sponsor the podcast.
If you got a better one,
Sponsor me.
It just never came to fruition for a few stars didn't align, but maybe we can.
They can align their stars with mine if they want.
Yeah, we could sort something
Get a
out there for
mattress,
sure.
man. It's fucking change your life.
Hook me up. I got back pain.
The bed. The biggest thing about the king bed, I will say, is that when I move, Deuce doesn't move.
Oh yeah.
Like it's good. So you can shut because the old mattress is fucking one moves, you fucking the other person's fucking
Feng shui
getting
up.
thrown around.
Feng shui.
The feng shui goes
The
up.
feng shui
Yeah.
goes up. So it's a fucking nice.
You're heavy, bro. You sleep on a waterbed before.
I don't know. It was
Just a big boy.
King Coil. King Coil.
Just a big boy. How's your cut going?
I've dropped. Started the heaviest I weighed in just before the cut was at 108.1, and now the lightest weighing I've had is 104.9. But over the weekend kind of killed me a little bit just with Deuce's parents down.
Greek shit.
Greek shit. We had a Greek barbecue on Sunday, but I'm still down. I'm down 2.5 kilos somewhere there.
mad.
And again, it wasn't like this cut was to get me super shredded. It was to have a break from bulking and to get slightly a bit more trim.
I think
before
it's sort of
Port
shredded.
It's a little bit shredded.
Not super
I bought
shredded.
I bought Budgie Smugglers.
Oh,
for Port
really?
Douglas, yeah.
We actually. Oh, that's another thing. Someone's asked us to sponsor us from Budgie Smugglers. That was bad timing. Bad luck. Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Did you returns?
No, I'll get another pair. I'll get the Greek flag pair. I wasn't buying a
Wait,
Greek
Budgie
flag pair for
Smugglers,
Port
No, it
Douglas.
wasn't
Sponsor
Budgie. It wasn't Budgie Smugglers. Somebody who has a Budgie Smuggler. It's not. I know that's the brand, but Speedo. They're not even. That's another brand. Whatever the fuck the product is, they have their own, and they.
Oh, so it's not Budgie Smuggler.
No, but it's.
I want Budgie Smuggler.
Yeah.
Why? You get your bed sheets from Kmart, and all of a sudden you can't get some other
High
brand.
roller over here.
Budgie Smuggler is
I'm not putting that
of
joke.
swimming bottoms.
I'm not putting that joke.
Nah, but
Joke's gone.
Budgie Smuggler. Because Budgie Smuggler is the brand that you want. It's got the Budgie Smuggler on the back.
I want Givenchy across my ass.
Yeah. I got pink lemonade.
Back to the cut. You made a post the other day that bulking's hard.
Yeah.
Obviously,
shit.
I agree with you with that. I
It's
think
shit.
either end, the hedonic staircase plays in either
Hedonic
end.
staircase. So
But what
there's not many people that I've come across that I've spoken to that actually can understand or relate. Cam Brown's one of them. I had a Sam Skepis, quick chat with him at the comp, and he also goes bulking sucks. And I don't think it's until, and I know you've had patches too, until you've, because a few guys that had spent quite a long period cutting used to look at me and go, man, 600 carb, fucking eat. But it's not 600 carb once off and because you're super hungry because you've been cutting. It's 600, 650, 700 carb every single day for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And
Trying to maintain some degree of food quality.
food quality, you feel you don't have an appetite.
Yeah.
Like was it Jay Cutler that someone goes, what's the best cheat meal? Because the meal that I don't have to eat.
Oh, he did say that.
That was his quote. Like, people don't quite get that it is just as difficult as cutting. And I'm actually enjoying this cut because I wake up and like that thing that you saw me eat before, that was the first thing I ate. I had a protein shake in the morning, but that's the first thing I ate.
Little fucking cheese crackers.
That protein shake, just give it my
Little rats.
little rats. I had protein shake in the morning, just muscle protein synthesis.
The old MPS.
MPS, spike that motherfucker. but I went for a walk, fasted,
Spike it.
but it's enjoyable. Is what my point is. It's enjoyable. I don't have to eat that much.
The change.
Change.
Helps.
Obviously, we keep cutting. No, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7, 8, and eventually you get the other problem. Oh my god! And that's why you have a diet break and all that when you're cutting for extended periods. But yeah, bulking is difficult, and yeah.
What were your strategies to get 600 carbs in, 700 carbs?
Pizza and chocolate big hand. I have a smoothie.
How good was the Spaniards?
that was amazing.
You're
chocolate
gonna
milk.
But the line at the start is like, I don't have the sports science degrees or whatever. But for me, it's beef mince
and chocolate milk. I was like, my luck.
You're speaking my language.
Speaking my language there. Hey, I don't have the sports science degree either.
Angus messaged me off of that, and he goes, putting out better fitness content than most fucking he's out there at the moment, bro. He's got a gym. He's got a gym series, like him talking about training.
Training, yeah.
It is fucking hilarious.
He's so funny, man.
But he does because he plays. He doesn't act like he knows everything. He just talks from his
this
experience.
this is what works for me.
Yeah.
this is what I did.
Like he did a supplement one and he's like, it's all trash, but the one thing that works is creatine.
Bro, someone asked him why you want to get to 130. Why you're on gear? He's like, I want to get to 130 kilos and wrestle and choke cuts out.
He's fucked. Well, I was gonna. That's back to the question. Strategy: morning smoothie. That would be 1,500 calories off the bat there.
What's in there? What do you got?
It's not smooth.
It's 120. It's
Morning
smoothie there. 120 grams of oats,
Morning sludge.
berries, mixed berries, frozen mixed berries, banana, 40 grams of honey, 250 mils of oat milk, but it's oat milk with 30 carb in it.
Yeah, so it's thick.
100 grams of dextrose, whey
That's
protein.
a lot of dextrose.
It works out to about 250 carb, and like 60 protein and fucking whatever, 25.
Decent amount of fiber too with all the berries.
It's
and
been
stuff.
that hits my my fruit intake for the day.
I thought you were going to say
sorry.
it's my guts like a ton of bricks.
No. I've adapted. It hits my fruit for the day, and it nails a bit of fiber. So then have that. Then, so if I say Tuesday, have that. Then I train. I come here, work. I have my Big M, banana chips. There's like another 1,000 calories. I have that plus my meal at work, another 500-600 calories. Go home. Then we go to a Porto's. Then 4,500 calories easy.
I think the biggest thing that I think you changed was your first meal. Like the timing of your first meal.
The
like,
smoothie.
you're like, I've got to get in 4,000 calories. Like, if you're eating yet, it's like 11:30. Like, nah. Like, fuck, that's your
So
problem.
now that 1,500 calorie smoothie, I have that first, and it knocks off. Because then I train, and then I am hungry.
Yeah.
after
So
I train.
if you're massing and you're trying to get that much food in 3 meals,
Very difficult.
you're gonna have a bad time.
But also,
Like,
I've
it's
had
not fun.
clients that are like, I bump them up to 300 carb. Like, I'm struggling. I look at what they're eating, and they're having like Spud Light or like potatoes for their cut. And I'm like, nah, we'll change that. Put liquids in. You make it easy for yourself. Liquids. Graze is the other one. Grazing. Dried apricots. Dried
Trail mix.
trail mix. Yeah.
Scroggin.
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 What the fuck is Scroggin? we had a
That's a Silesian joke.
We had a teacher at school that we went to Union camp, and he's like, "You're gonna make your scroggin," and he's like, "You grab some almonds, grab some fucking
He
sultanas."
taught us how to make scroggin. It was like a lesson before, and he showed us how to make scroggin, which is just literally just a mixed nut.
Trail mix.
Do you know one?
Scroggin.
Someone got scroggin.
We called him Scrog Dogs for the next 3 years.
Someone got scroggin on their year 12 jumper.
Fucking hell.
Scroggin. But yeah, scroggin actually works. Have dried apricots, dried mango, banana chips. Banana chips are $3 for a bag, and calorie dense as. You'd graze on those, throw liquids in there, and you'll be right.
Can of corn.
Can of
corn.
corn. Nah,
Do not have, if you're trying to bulk, do not prioritize a can of corn.
can of corn. Can of corn is cutting food.
Can of corn's cutting.
Can of corn.
Have some corn, not too much.
Sardines.
It's gonna decorate your fucking.
The high fat
fecal matter.
sardines, yeah, for sure.
B12.
Chat.
Mackerel.
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 Jason loves mackerel.
Fucking oath.
Liver. Just liver, everything.
Liver King. The Liver King. Joe Rogan shouted the Liver King, not shouted him out, but called him up for the steroids. He's knuckling down that he's a steroid free. He's really like.
I'm a bit off him.
Like there is no chance that he could go back on what he's saying.
I'm
now.
a bit off him until he admits that he's on gear. Because you can fucking claim.
Pretty funny.
You can claim liver all you want.
Ancestral diet.
Ancestral diet, cold. I love it. All that shit. I love it. Mad. Go to the cold, the barefoot. We used to do all that shit. The groundings.
Yeah, we fucked up.
We should have
We
marketed
were
better.
on Invigoration's grounding 3-4 years ago.
Before was cool.
But yeah, we could have been biohackers, Ben.
But
fucking.
I'm sorry.
You could have been the
We could have
Australian
been, we could have been
Huberman.
Hubie. Fucking butter for test, brother. Fucking hell.
But Liver King, you are red as fuck and your delts look like bowling balls, man.
100%. The cunt's massive.
You gotta
are on-
respect it.
Oh,
Solidarity.
no, he looks like
Bro, solidarity in a lie. It takes effort to lie that hard.
he's got it because even on the Paul Impulsive podcast, he was like, nope. He's like, would I have chicken legs if I was on steroids? I'm like, motherfucker, you are.
What?
Yeah, but that's just because you don't. Maybe you don't train your legs. Like your upper body is jacked and red.
Yeah.
There was a photo with him with Mark Bell, and they
Yeah.
were walking down like a trail, and I was just looking at these two Neanderthals, just like their rib cage is like fucking ginormous. His guts are like
They're pushed out. And the abs, man. The abs are like bricks. So
100%.
I look at Rick the Stick.
Ricky Boogs.
Ricky Boogs.
Goat.
He claims natural, but he looks natural.
yeah.
He's jacked, but he's a genetic freak. But
Is he in the WWE yet?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. He is. But he ruptured his quad tendon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah.
He looks like he's a freak, but you can tell he looks natural. He's been training for 20 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, and when he looks his freakiest, you can tell he's like proper bulk mode. You can tell like there's a bit of fluff on him compared to
Yeah,
when
he's not
lean.
shredded,
When
yeah.
he's shredded, like he obviously looks bigger, but you can tell he's a bit smaller. And he's got like proper stay natty monologues on his YouTube.
Yeah, no, he
does
talk.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
his whole thing is
he's
just
all about
keep,
it, yeah.
You just keep getting 1% better and forever. He's like, because he's like, you get on the gear and then you spike and then you drop. Like he's like, just fucking 20 years, 30 years of just fucking
100%.
climb. That's his thing.
Doing crazy shit in the garage.
I love him so much.
Playing guitar,
if you
reverse
haven't,
lunges.
you got to watch his old videos.
Oh, they were the best.
It was like before he had his daughter, and it was in the basement, and it was like a different level of
fucks.
nutcase.
He's like-
oh, bro.
The paternal instincts have kicked in. He's
Oh
like,
my
he's-
god,
he's
he would
tame.
scream.
He probably just needs to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
yeah,
He
don't wake
still
a child.
screams. He still screams, but it was just like I think he was in a basement as opposed to like the side room now. Whereas the basement, he would like scream, like pull a 900-pound trap bar deadlift, and it was like you're gonna pop. The screaming looked like it was more effort than the deadlift.
I just love it when he uploads like a 40-second video and it's him like choking out a dummy on the ground in his backyard or
Proper
something.
nutcase.
He loves
And then
it.
the titles, he got the algorithm proper for a bit. It was like Florida Man, like fights. Just he was fucking
He
hilarious.
knows what he's doing. It reminds me of the old Pete Rubish videos in the basement with his washing machine on, and he's just pulling.
They
like,
play that because on Spartans they have like a reel of videos of people lifting heavy shit, and they have the Pete Rubish fucking with the laundry behind it.
Man, it's amazing. That era of powerlifting, YouTube powerlifting with George Lehman. We've spoken about him a few times.
Yeah.
George Lehman, Pete Rubish, even Mark Bell when he was coming up. Fat Mark Bell.
Bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, a real West Side influence on the
sure,
industry.
for sure.
It was nothing like it, but Boogs definitely has a
Boogs
has got some flavour in there.
If you want
Oh,
some
no, Boogs
pre
is-
training motivation, just watch him zercher like 600 pounds and then fucking scream. It's amazing.
Oh, he's unbelievable. So I was at any time and I benched there for the first time, and like low bench to the floor. I'm sliding around like you can't fucking chalk your back, whatever else. I'm like, I did it and I slipped on on the fourth rep and I slid out. I'm like, oh fucking shit bench. And then I thought about Boogs and like his rack. The things that he squats out of this rack, one, dangerous. But like it's just so dangerous. Like fuck man, it's bad. But the benches, like, you should see the shit that he just does in his garage. And this guy is a rig.
Yeah, monster.
Rig.
100%.
Rig. And I'm like, I will not utter this complaint out loud.
just for the sake of.
It sounds like any time's a bit of a dangerous place, mate, to be lifting weights. What's going on over there?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I look at the Smith machine, my heart skips a beat.
That's fair enough.
I was on one end of the gym and Nick Heater's like, I'm going to do Smith machine lunges. I'm like, yeah, go for it. And I was doing lateral raise and I'm like looking over in the corner. I'm like, you're right.
Trauma.
Smith machine.
New trauma.
Oh, big time.
Big trauma.
I don't know if I'll ever.
Well, it's funny. I remember we were chatting about if we got like 2 or 3 pieces, and one of the ones I wanted to get was the Smith machine.
Yeah, I said Smith machine.
I don't think we can anymore.
Versatility.
I don't want to give you anxiety every time you rock up to work.
Yeah.
Nah.
Fucking.
Unless there's a Smith machine sponsor out there, but we'll leave it at that.
In which case,
I think the final thing that we'll go through is just a client shout out. One of the things we do with the Boy There's Eps. Hit it, boys.
I got Chan Lee. Chan Lee has come off the back end of a long journey with his ACL rehab. He's just stuck at it the entire time. Killed it, obviously, in collaboration with Dan Gadisi,
Evolve.
and Evolve Sports Medicine. He's spearheaded it. But I've programmed all the more fun stuff. Now it's transition. But he, just for some numbers, like he's sitting around 72, 73 kilos, overhead pressing 32 for 6, got bench 100 for 5, RDLing 150 for 5, he's calling it 8.5, I reckon he's talking shit. 200 for 5, trap bar deadlift, call it a 9.5, again think he's talking shit. And he's shaving, like he's getting faster and faster.
How long since the rupture? Did you have an op?
He did have an op.
Yeah, how long since then?
It's about a year.
Yep.
About a year. But
he's kept going.
I coached him beforehand and before the injury, obviously. And since then, I'm 100% sure that he has far exceeded absolutely all performance
from an outcome
beforehand.
Yep.
And now he's prepping for the Melbourne Marathon.
Shouts out Chan Lee.
Shouts out. Killing it.
Yeah. I've got Lena Tran. She's doing her first novice comp in 4 weeks at Apex. She just pulled 140 at, I believe, about 58 kilos bodyweight. So very excited to see her smash her first novice comp, and then she'll be doing October JPS. So
nice.
Some big lifts coming up.
Coming across USAPL.
Natalie Komushov. I hope I said her last name right. I'm saying it phonetically.
Good job.
Good job.
Well done, Charles.
I can read. I learned to read. No, but she's absolutely crushing it. Signed up with me. I think we're in our third or fourth block of training now, and she worked with Thomas Lilly for years. And she's just ready for a change. Like I think similar how I was with Bryce, and yeah, she's crushing it. PRs all the time. Like she's just like nailing PRs. She's like I haven't had a run of training like this for a long time. So
change is good sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's like she had pretty much exactly the same thing I said about Bryce. She said with Thomas Lilly, like loved working with him, but just a bit of change. And same with me when I stopped with Bryce. Like loved working with him. Nothing wrong with working with Bryce, but just time for a change. Shake it up.
After 5 years, yeah.
Well, she was similar, 4 years or 5 years. Yeah.
Shake it, shift it, twist it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but she's crushing it at the moment. And she's got a comp coming up in November.
Lovely.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've only got 3 clients, so I'll just cycle back to the start of mine. Gav Gray just pulled a crazy set of, I think it was 6, 210 on deadlift for a set of 6, which is unreal. He's a monster on the deads. Just in a 210 for 6, just in a commercial gym. And everyone just sort of like, you can see
he'd be the guy. He'd be the one that like, when he's lifting, you got to like turn around and watch.
Yeah. It's just like a typical, like a shed garage, not garage gym, a shed commercial gym. And he's just always in the corner, just slamming weights, big squats, big deads, big benches. But shouts out to Gav. I know he does listen. He actually loved the Jordan Shallow Angus Bradley combo.
Fuck yeah.
That was probably one of my favourite episodes as well. But we'll leave it there. If you are interested in coaching from the boys here at Melbourne Strength Culture, you can reach out. Just one of the links in the bio, probably the first one, or just DM one of the coaches directly. But other than that, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week. Adios.
See you later.
Slide in.